Why hello there, it's me again, Video Gamer Angel, or VCR Riot if that's your thing. Back again, but with 8K subscribers. As per channel tradition, I asked the community to vote for a character I should draw to celebrate. And as you can see, Sayori won. Best girl of Doki Doki, don't at me. But in all seriousness, I do love all the girls in Doki Doki Literature Club, but I definitely feel more of a personal attachment to Sayori and Monika. For this video, we'll just be focusing on Sayori. In fact, I already talked about Monika in the previous Milestone video, if you want to check that out. So, when I first heard about DDLC, it was actually from a screenshot of Monika during the game's finale. You know, when she's staring into your soul. And from a purely anime standpoint, I think yandere characters are pretty neat. So, I did a little bit of digging, and I was happy to find out that the game was available on Steam. On top of that, it had overwhelmingly positive reviews, and it was free. So I was like, cool, I could play it immediately to see what the hype was about. I didn't go in completely blind, of course. During my research, I discovered that Doki Doki Literature Club has the unique premise of being a horror game masquerading as a romantic visual novel. Well, I say research, but in reality they basically spoon-feed you the premise on the store page and the official website. There's even a mature content warning at the very beginning of the game. One thing you should know about me is that I'm a massive coward when it comes to horror games, even though I can never get enough of them. Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Dead Space, The Evil Within. I prefer games where I can actually fight back against the things that terrify me. But with Doki Doki Literature Club, I didn't have that luxury. Because there's nothing more terrifying than things that are completely out of your control. But the game didn't start out that way. After all, it's masquerading as a romantic visual novel first, which finally brings us to Sayori. Sayori's character, much like the other members of the Literature Club, is based off a popular anime archetype. In her case, she's the childhood friend. By design, she's energetic, optimistic, and outgoing. She always brings out the best in people, and nothing makes her happier than making other people happy. If Doki Doki Literature Club wasn't a horror game, Sayori would fit right into a normal visual novel or anime. The game does an incredible job lulling you into a false sense of security. You sometimes forget why you started it in the first place. For added effect, most of the game's dialogue is written in a way that makes it feel like it's been translated from Japanese by somebody who had some free time. With that said, it's intentional when the characters feel disconnected from reality, especially when there's an awkward or comedic moment involved. Early conversations feel formulaic and predictable. Standard anime banter that's fun but ultimately one note. Everybody's following a script, maintaining a charade that's meant to hide the darker elements of the story. Even though I knew what I was getting into before starting DDLC, there was one thing I wasn't expecting. It was that the story was getting too real. Stories, whether from reality or fiction, can affect us all the same. They gift us with experiences and perspectives from different corners of the world, different time periods even. Whether it's fantasy, science fiction, or a little bit of both, stories can take us on any adventure across multiple universes, with their characters serving as our navigators. Other times they hit us a little closer to home, holding up a mirror to our past and offering us a moment of self-reflection, whether we were ready for it or not. As painful and cringe-inducing as it may be, having self-awareness to our own past and present will guide us to a better future. After all, those who forget history are doomed to repeat it, especially if it's their own history. With that said, I never would have expected my own history to come back to me in the form of a cute anime girl. That's Sayori. Despite the bright and sunny exterior, she hides her own share of doubts, fears, insecurities, and sadness. She has that hopeless feeling that she's not good enough to have friends or fall in love. The world is just out to get her, and there's no solace or reprieve from that feeling of failure. Any moments of happiness just doesn't feel permanent or earned. Even the slightest mistake feels like a stab to the heart, and the cut keeps getting deeper as time goes on. Seeing her go through the same path, with the same mindset I had in the past, was both surreal and heartbreaking at the same time. I just felt completely helpless watching her go through her worst moments. All I can think of was all the things I would say to my past self. any advice I could give to help someone overcome their darkest feelings and thoughts about themselves. Because when your own mind space is hostile, no place feels like home. Sayori is a fictional character, but the emotions and memories she brings up are as real as they can be. After all, characters and stories are really messengers from the author to the audience. A story can be seen as a cleverly disguised conversation that can be passed on to countless people. And Doki Doki Literature Club offered me a conversation I never thought I needed to have. It gave me closure for a past that was still haunting my present. A huge reason why I kept delaying this video is because talking about depression is surprisingly depressing. Even if it was in the past, I kept that shit behind me for a reason. To put it lightly, my days back in middle school was pretty much an endless playlist of despair. It was the weirdest thing. It was like somebody flipped a switch on the world. Elementary school was all rainbows and sunshine, an absolute walk in the park. And then a single year passes and now it's doom and gloom in a fucking minefield. All the friends I made back in elementary were completely different people. The world was changing fast and I had no hope in catching up. I can barely understand the trends at the time, let alone myself. It doesn't help that a lot of the bullying I experienced was also where I first encountered racism. I wasn't the only one, of course. With the few real-life friends I still had, I could see it in their faces they were being bullied too. Not just with racist shit, but with petty stuff too. And small petty stuff adds up over time. Even when I was home, I never really felt like myself. My mind space was just a constant back and forth between self-deprecation and worry. Not surprisingly, it was about that time I developed a video game addiction, because it was only when I played video games where I felt like I had control over my life, albeit a virtual one. I wouldn't get much sleep, of course, which made it harder for me to get out of bed, let alone pay attention in school. Whatever emotions I bottled up would always rob me of my sleep, and the ones I did share would just make other people worry about me, which made me feel worse. I always thought my problems were insignificant compared to everyone else's. I'm a man, so grow a fucking pair and deal with it. Honestly, it's a miracle I'm even still here. I often thought about running away from home a few times, and I even tried once. I didn't get very far, but still, felt like I was a burden to everyone around me. And I was tired of bringing nothing but bad news every time I went home. Suicidal thoughts were always there, of course. It was a pretty common thought process for a lot of middle schoolers back then, and most likely even today, but it doesn't make it any more okay. The only reason why I'm here today and you're not just staring at a blank video is that I got the help and support I needed, especially from those close to me. Family and friends, both online and offline, were there for me at my worst moments. They took time out of their day just to listen to me. They gave me encouragement and advice that I would carry with me for the rest of my life. I don't think I'll ever be able to repay their kindness, but I'm gonna try. Not only just to be there for them if they need help, but also I need to live my life to the fullest. I'm still here because of their love and generosity, and a second chance in life is not something I'd take for granted. Not anymore. I choose to be happy, not because the world is sunshine and rainbows. The world is kind of a nightmare, actually. But the people, family, friends, random folks you meet on the internet, yeah, they're pretty cool. Now, being happy every day all the time is not the solution to life's problems. If you're sad, be sad. If you're mad, be mad. Don't deny the emotions that make you human. But like everything else, moderation is key. You deserve to be happy. Most of the time, just not 24/7, that's creepy. And remember, nobody is perfect, but everybody deserves a second chance. A chance to achieve their dreams, be successful, find love. You know, that good shit. And of course, don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of things in life have to be learned the hard way, but you can cut down on the trial and error process by just asking for help. All the encouragement in the world means a lot, but at the end of the day, the person who has the final say is you. You, yourself, are your biggest supporter. If you can learn to love yourself, that love will continue to support you for the rest of your life, and maybe someday you can share it with somebody who needs it. Life is one giant collaboration / crossover. It was never meant to be a solo experience. so try to surround yourself with good people. Perhaps you can join a club. Till next time.